Welcome, fight fans. Bienvenidos to our first official episode of More Than a Fight podcast. I'm your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar, and this is your co-host.
Fun.
And thank you for tuning in. I know we posted a few videos, but they've been unofficial, and finally we're here. Really quick before we get started, we just want to touch on why we're here and what we hope to accomplish. And it's going to be a lot of content that is not your usual content as far as because not the Knock Any podcast, but they do a lot of pre-fights and then after the fight kind of thing. And we want to be a little different, make sure that we touch on things that affect fighters and fans alike. Subjects like judging, because we both know that judging is an issue.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. There's always some kind of BS score and it always takes away from the fight. Or promoters. Unfortunately, that is probably one of my biggest issues with the sport. And then platforms now. Yeah,
they're fighting over rights of who's going to televise it. Man, that's another obstacle.
You would think it'd be good for fighters, but platforms are another problem. But anyway, so those are little things that we're going to be touching on. And there's going to be other subjects that we're going to be going in depth on. Because like I said, we want to be different and we want to bring something to the sport and to fans. And hopefully one day fighters will go, hey man, these guys are doing something that also pertains to us. So that's why we're here, and let's get into it.
Yeah, let's start with the fight this past weekend.
Absolutely.
Which was championship fight, 115.
Bam Rodriguez and Surakat Rungvisai.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good card.
Oh yeah, the whole card was good, but let's start with the main event, because that's what we're all here for, right? Or everyone tuned in for, I'd say. Rungvisai, two-time champion. The one guy to defeat Chocolatito.
And knock him out.
Beat him by decision, knocked him out the next time just to make sure.
Dramatic fashion.
And Bam, that actually moved up from 108 to 115 last fight on short notice.
6 days.
And got a belt. So.
But against Carlos Cuadras.
Cuadras.
Let's not say just got
No, yeah, you're right. Carlos Cuadras is...
Cuadras, for those people who know that division, is no joke.
Yeah, Cuadras has fought all the best in the division. He's actually beat Rungvisai 5 years ago, I want to say 5-6 years ago, and he fought Estrada. He went toe to toe with him.
A hell of a fight against Estrada.
Great fight, and Bam beat him, and it was not expected.
Man.
Yeah. So he carried his weight. This is the second time I've seen him. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert with him, but his boxing ability is amazing.
He looked, man, Lomachenko-esque to me. I know a lot of people might come at me for that, but he looked Lomachenko-esque. The way he was switching angles on Rungvisai at times, he would pop him and then turn him around, and then Rungvisai would look up and he's like, where'd he go? And then just the way he was using that jab, damn, it was just beautiful. He put on a beautiful show from a boxing purist. It was beautiful. There's no other way to put it.
It was. I didn't expect the knockout, but as we saw, he knocked him out. So.
Rungvisai had no answer. He just kept getting hit.
That's true.
Time after time, whether it was an uppercut, a hook, a jab, that straight right, he was just. Rungvisai had no answer.
Yeah. So now they came in with the right game plan. Don't exchange and. Use your angles, use your...
But not even that. At times, he would, even when Rungvisai would come at him, Bam was able to cover up, move away, and it was a beautiful display of boxing.
Yeah.
For a kid that young, at 22 years old. And then the big thing that I want to point at is that they were in his hometown.
Yeah. A lot of boxers, I would imagine, feel pressure fighting in their hometown.
Exactly, and we've seen it with Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, you're going to put on a big show, you want to impress everyone, and... sometimes you just don't follow the game plan, I'd say, and...
He struggled I'm referring to Valdez, when he was in Tucson, because he's from Arizona, but he also lives in Nogales, but he struggled because he wanted to put on a show. And this kid's 22 years old, in San Antonio, just beat Carlos Cuadras, and now you're going to put him in against another former champion in Rungvisai? And he had that type of composure.
Yeah, no, good.
It was no little thing to me. It's just wow.
No, it was great. And
wow.
The thing is, he came up from 108, so you already know there's, I'd say, 108, 112, and 115. You got a lot of fights to make there.
Some awesome fights. At 112, you have options, but even if because I know everybody's already pointing at Chocolatito and Estrada, but even if we ignore those guys, which is obviously hard to do because they're legends, let's go to 112. In 112 alone, there's a couple great fights that can be made. Mm-hmm. Sonny Edwards was saying some stuff on Twitter, and I'm not sure he has that cachet yet to be speaking about it yet. But I did hear that Rodriguez mentioned Junto Nakatani.
Oh, that'd be great, man. He's
who is... I saw his fight against Yamaguchi. I was like, damn. I had never heard of this guy. I thought he was related to Masayoshi Nakatani, who fought at 140, but of course...
no, they're not, but...
They're just both Japanese and they have the same last name. But that he is no joke, and he's 24 years old. Yeah. So that would be a freaking awesome fight at 112.
I think they'd make it so soon, them being so young. I hope they do.
I think Eddie Hearn would.
Yeah.
Because he made he's made Estrada versus Chocolatito. He's made Cuadras against Estrada. Mm-hmm. He's made a bunch of great fights for the little guys. No. Not that I'm just tuning Eddie Hearn's horn, but I'm just saying he's the one guy that I would say would be willing to put him in there. Because he just put him in there with Cuadras, and then you put him in with Rungvisai.
Would you say he's going to be the favorite once he fies any of those? Now?
Against Nakatani, I don't know, man. Those Japanese fighters are no joke.
Oh, no, those lower weight class, Japanese, and there's some Europeans in there, I'm trying to watch them more now, because we don't get them promoted over here as much, so you kind of have to find their fights and be a fan, which I'm trying to be better at now. I always was a fan, but locally, stuff that I know is coming up on our network, Showtime, used to be HBO, DAZN, and ESPN. That's what I keep on. But I'm glad they're starting to bring some of the Japanese fighters to our attention.
And a lot of UK
fighters. And DAZN is doing a lot of UK. They're doing Spain now, which I appreciate, man. I look different styles of boxing, which, brings different stuff to the table.
Absolutely. But no, man, I mean, I think BAM has a ton of options. It's just, I think Chocolatito shouldn't be next yet, because it's too tempting to make it next. But let's let him go back to 112. What if he can become undisputed at 112 and then go to 115, or even, like you said, down to 108? What if he wins titles at 108, 112, and then 115? Well, he already has one at 115.
Yeah.
I mean, that's three different weight classes.
Yeah, Kyoguchi fought 2-3 weeks ago, and if you guys haven't watched it, that was on DAZN. You can watch it on the replays, but his skill level is no joke. That was my first time watching him.
Oh, 108, right?
108, and I mean, that'd be amazing. I hope.
No, there's so many options, dude. I'm so excited because he just brings a breath of fresh air to those little weight classes. And I'm telling you, the little guys put on awesome fights. And if you haven't seen any of the fights we talked about, go on DAZN or go on YouTube and look those up, because there were some great fights.
Yeah.
So, another fight that was on the card was Jessica McCaskill and Ibarra. We'll just touch on that one briefly because unfortunately it ended the third round. Well, not unfortunately. Jessica McCaskill did her job. She's a professional, undisputed champion. What can you say? No. Ibarra was just outmatched.
She knew better. I mean, she couldn't keep
on. She called for the fight to stop, and hey, sometimes you gotta credit the fighter. Hey, she knew she couldn't handle it. Yeah, so why take more punishment? I suppose is what her thinking was, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Hopefully she comes back stronger next time. Hey, it's not a loss. It's a learning. She's gonna
exactly.
learn
Learning experience. She went, whoa, this goes a little too much for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully next Jessica McCaskill can get somebody like Chantel Cameron, maybe over in the UK. That would be awesome for her. Get herself some more exposure, and then maybe try to go after Katie Taylor again. Oh, yeah. But obviously, Katie Taylor will have to move up, or Jessica McCaskill will have to move down. So some options there.
Just make it happen. That'd make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then another fight on the card: Akhmadaliev versus Ronnie Rios.
Yes, sir.
Akhmadaliev came out strong as expected. Seemed like he hurt his power hand.
Yeah, but because before that he was taking it to Rios, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Rios was trying to do what he could do when Akhmadaliev had two hands, but then even when Akhmadaliev had one hand, I felt like Rios still wasn't able to take advantage, maybe because of the shots he took before Akhmadaliev hurt his hand. But Yeah, Ronnie Rios came on late. To his credit,
He did come in late.
Tough.
He
wasn't a pushover. So to Akhmadaliev's credit, he fought a very tough guy in Ronnie Rios.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like it was just some guy they threw in there. It was a difficult fight because in the 10th and the 11th, Rios was asking some questions of Akhmadaliev, but even with one hand, he was able to handle him.
Yeah. So.
And obviously, the big thing coming out of that fight is Stephen Cool Boy Steph.
Cool Boy Steph, yeah, Fulton.
At 122.
Let's
do it. Why not, man? I love this. I love when we get these types of fights where it could be champion versus champion. Because that's what makes boxing great when they do it right.
It seems to be happening more often than before, though, which I'm appreciating it.
But who do you got in that one? If it happens. Because even as you just made that statement, unfortunately I have to bring in this part. Cool Boy Steph, Stephen Fulton is with PBC. Akhmadaliev is apparently with DAZN, which I didn't know that. And we got the whole platforms promoters issue.
Yeah, so they got to work that one out.
But I hope, because it's a great fight and it will sell, please just figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Don't do this to us, because that is an awesome fight. And I don't care about any other fight other than Akhmadaliev and Fulton. And Fulton wants it.
Oh, yeah.
Fulton was watching it.
Should be easy to make as long as everyone, other than the fighters agree, so.
Exactly. No, I think the fighters want it.
The fighters want it.
Let's just not get silly. It's a great fight. Don't get silly. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, now really quick. To my hesitation, I'm gonna do it because Jake Paul has done some great things for boxing, so I don't want to leave it out. He's supposed to fight Tommy Fury.
Supposed to. That seems like it's only gonna happen overseas if they're not gonna let him in. So
yeah, that was the latest update or whatever you want to call it. Was it today or was it yesterday?
I think it was today.
It was earlier today, right?
Yeah, today. No, it might have been yesterday, but yeah, no, he's not allowed in the U.S., so they got to figure that out.
Which is, silly. But if anything, Jake Paul claims, I don't take that with a grain of salt, that he told Tommy Fury, or his team told Tommy Fury's team what they need to do in order to fix whatever the issue is. That's what he's saying. I don't know. At the end of the day, the one thing I wanted to point out, actually, again, I'm going to give Jake Paul a little bit of credit because he has helped out Serrano, Katie Taylor, awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that. Remember this, Jake Paul, if one day you watch it. The one thing I want to point out is Tommy Fury a boxer? And you know what I mean. Is he actually a boxer? Because he has a record, right?
He's considered a professional boxer.
Okay, then. So, technically, if this fight happens, it's Jake Paul's first professional fight.
Or a professional opponent that's
what I mean.
Fights, yeah. So no, Jake Paul is what, 2 or 3-0 professionally. He has professional fights.
Right?
Yeah, and he's looked good. But I guess to keep in mind who he's fighting. But the first real boxer, is a lot of people are going to say, and
and side note, he bet Tyson Fury $1 million, which I found hilarious.
And Fury looked a little hesitant to bet that. So.
I would too, because Fury knows his brother. Fury's gonna be honest, because he said it on I forget what he said. I was watching it on YouTube. He said it somewhere on YouTube. He's like, if Tommy can't win this fight or can't take this fight seriously and beat Jake Paul, then maybe he's in the wrong business. So credit to Tyson Fury for keeping it
Tommy
real.
has a career anyways. He's a reality TV star.
But that's my point. So is he a boxer or isn't he?
No,
because he has a record.
He's
so
a boxer because his dad forces him, and so does his brother probably. But
yeah.
Hey, man.
But yeah, so remember that you Jake Paul fans or what are they called?
Hey, they're new boxing fans. We got to be positive about it. Hey, they got to watch Amanda Serrano, and she's amazing.
So. Credit him too. He's putting Serrano again in MSG, so that's awesome for her. 2 back-to-back fights in Madison Square Garden. Great for her, man. I hope. Well, I don't want to knock her opponent, Carvajal. Yeah. Her first name escapes me, but that's her opponent. If she wins, I hope we get a rematch. Because who doesn't want to see Serrano, Katie Taylor too? It was a freaking
that was a toss-up. I couldn't pick a winner on that one.
It was a great fight.
And I'm glad it was that great. It brings, guys to see how good women really are at sports. And
exactly.
I appreciate it.
And let's hope this keeps up. I think I brought it up before. Michaela Mayer Alicia Baumgartner.
Oh.
Please tell me we're going to get that fight this year. I'm excited for that fight, and I hope it happens here in Vegas, which is where we're stationed at, because I would love to go to that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, and today I saw that Tio's going to fight here in town.
Oh, that's
At
right.
Resorts World. I mean, I think it was official. Yeah, no, I'd go watch
140.
that. I'd go watch that
Because
for
he
sure.
just moved up.
Yeah.
So that'll be an awesome fight. And last thing I wanted to point out was, so Canelo has said he's going to fight Bivol again. Assuming he beats Gennady Golovkin on September 17th.
He's a prideful man. Of course he is.
But no, because a lot of people were saying on other social media sites and even on YouTube that he should stay away from Bivol. But he made it clear. May of next year, he wants Bivol. And when he says it, it's not something it's not just
talk.
Not just talk. It's going to happen. So I'm actually excited because he sounds like, he's like, no, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, he's not being very nice to Triple G this time around.
That too.
They're selling the fight, whatever you want to see,
intense.
whatever you want to call it. But he's very intense.
Oh yeah.
Never seen him like this, and he says it's personal against Triple G. He's talked a lot of smack, and I know Triple G's gonna bring it. So.
Oh man, I think it could be an awesome close finally, or I hope. I shouldn't say I think. I want it to be a great close to this trilogy, and then. Maybe we can get Gennady Golovkin against Charlo or Boo. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode ever. We hope you enjoyed it. What should they do?
We need comments too because
please feel free to comment.
Subscribe.
We're just getting started. Yeah, feel free, man.
I mean, we're only going to get better from here and bring you better information next time.
And yes, we're going to start putting up different types of content coming up. Thank you very much, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.